Good morning, Mr. Coker. Let me show you a few things on your boat. We found rot right below the spray rail. Spray rail hooked up right here. This is some yucca they put behind the spray rail. There was a dado groove in the back of the spray rail. This prevented rot from moving to the spray rail. This stuff did. So we'll knock that off, and of course we'll put new stuff in there. So we got a little bit more rot here that we'll route this out. Of course, all this is painted, so that's not a big deal at all. We've got our stain ordered for this, and then let's see. Then this area, this smaller area. I think you had already opened this up when you brought it to us. It came back another couple feet probably, and then went forward another 3 or 4 feet. So that area ended up being, it's about 7 foot long now.
Yeah, more than.
Yeah. So, and Dred's working on that. So, and the nice thing is he works all weekend. So, although there is a fish fry at the Catholic Church tonight at 5:30, Dred.
A fish fry?
Uh-huh.
Where?
Yeah, at the Catholic Church.
Okay.
All right.
Get your dinner planned out.
Yeah, we got dinner planned.
I'll sure that too.
So then over here, thing we wanted to show you is we rather than butting the plywood and butting the plank along the same line, we routed that back 1.5 inches. And so you'll notice, let's see, maybe get a little closer here. Okay, so we routed the outer plank back 1.5 inches. So we'll offset the joints of the plywood and the outer plank. So that's going to make a much stronger bond right there. Anyway, and just intuitively, you know that's better. I don't know exactly how many hours that took, but I think it's less. I think it's about a day's time to do that. And then we also found on this side, we found more rot here. Again, that's all that's going to be is in a painted area, so we're going to just basically do an inlay there. Route that stuff out and inlay a piece. And and by the way, the Repcolite, that's the brand name Repcolite, Hacker Green is on order for the bottom as well. And then we have this other area back here to address, and we're just going to router this area out. We're going to do what we call a smiley face. We'll router that area out, and then there is some rot that has gotten up into this upper plank. You can tell by the discoloration of the varnish. The varnish is lifted in that area. So anyway, what we got planned there, we're going to see what we can get in the edge here, but we're going to try to leave this surface and not touch the surface and get any rot out of the back side. If there's rot, underneath the surface, we want to get that rot out while leaving the surface alone, because we can color that in with some stain and then varnish over it and hide that. So and the keel is in place. I'll stand up and show you the keel. And the gripe is shaped, and so is the gripe and the stem are shaped. So for the most part, we were able to do away with that hump in the keel, but we realized we were actually, if we did that consistently, we would actually not be able to move water from one end to the other unless we notched the frame out. So, and their frames were their frames were actually very inconsistent on height. We didn't notice that, but because we were putting them back like they were, and the frames were pretty inconsistent. So we've got our plywood is going to be laying on on the frames and up on the keel. So next week we'll be putting plywood and planks on, and this over the weekend we're going to be working on the rot here on the sides. And I ordered a signal generator for $13. I'll be able to send a signal to your tachometer, and we'll see if your tachometer is working. We're also going to run your engine and make sure that the engine is sending a signal to a tachometer. We have a tachometer on our little, well, that primer looks good. We have a tachometer on our little engine stand, our engine running stand. Where'd it go? There it is. So this is how we'll run your engine. It has a gas tank on it, a battery, and it supplies its own fuel. And as you'll see right up here in the center, that is a electronic tach. So we'll make sure that your tach is sending a signal to this one and or yours, your tachometer. So we'll be able to test both independently. That would only leave, the only wild card would be the wiring in between. And so we'll get that tested first part of next week. Maybe you can get it tested today because the tach, signal generator comes in Monday. So we'll test the first part of next week. All right. Of course, we'll be working up an invoice because we have worked all week on this. So I'll be working up an invoice like happened last week, and we'll talk to you soon. If you have any questions, I think I've covered everything. The trailer. So there is an invoice, or there is a estimate for the trailer, and I just wanted to check with you to see if you're ready to go with the estimate on the trailer for the bow stop and the bunk work that we talked about. So, because I'd like to get that started as well. All right, talk to you soon.